one of these creatures. It is believed to have the most painful insects in the world. It's a thorn, if you had to guess. It's ants that forage in the canopy of a rainforest, the bees that guard every honey hive, or the wasp that paralyzes the wolf bead. Let's find out. Ant bee. And the venom of wasps contains a variety of different compounds. These compounds, designed to provoke unpleasant feelings, even impair bodily functions. Entomologists fake listening to Europe. Schmidt's is the tingling index. Describe and rank approximately 100 species of insects. The pain level of the incident. Of our three competitors, one person claims to have the most painful one. So let's start with this. Let's take a look at the poetry of the western bee. This discomfort is caused by its venom. It's rich in pain-causing peptides called rheumatoid peptides, and enzymes that soften the body. These enzymes disperse the venom. These enzymes can also cause allergic reactions. It can even lead to fluid in the lungs. Due to the sight of the palace wind, stabs can penetrate some victims. You can't do it without leaving parts of your body behind. Sting. This will eventually lead to their death, since only the queen bee has the ability to reproduce. Official self-sacrifice helps ensure the colony and their genes able to reproduce. But before they leave, they release an alarm pheromone to initiate a swarm attack, and usually target the victim. Some of the most vulnerable parts of the body. Wolf pearl pine's thorn is dazzling, ferocious, like lightning, like an alien. Lie down and scream. This feeling for humans. The pain may only last for 5 minutes, but he will let the wolf pig. The preferred target for this kind of incident is permanently paralyzed. It is the queen of the dead wolf and pig in the next life, targeting its key neurology, and lay eggs on paralyzed spiders. After the larvae hatch, we'll spend it in a fertile environment inside wolves and pigs. Hive expectations. Devour it alive. Except for paralyzing wolves and pigs. This time it doesn't seem to cause further damage. This is to save the spider as a test sting. It's fresh meat to kill offspring. A trial of bullet ants that inhabit the rainforest. Stings can cause pure, severe pain. It's like a 3-inch nail in the heel. Walking on burning coals. Schmidt said, this torture usually lasts for more than 12 hours. It's called polyendotoxin. Panertoxin's neurotoxic peptide. Our bodies have difficulty breaking down. It's this peptide that causes the pain to last so long. Except for the excruciating pain, it also causes tremors, cold sweat, nausea, vomiting, and even arrhythmia. Actually, bullet bee is an insect that hurts the most. People think they've evolved such powerful defense mechanisms. It's because they forage in the canopy of the rainforest. The canopy is teeming with predators. Search for protein foods. They cannot jump or fly away easily. So maybe they are better suited to use this reliable, but a slightly offensive weapon. The sting of the wolf bamboo wind. It ranked second in pain. This is probably the reason why the wind doesn't. Causes of natural enemies. The stinging level of the seal is at a moderate level. But when many bees are also humans, the pain felt bearable at first will become more dangerous. Actually, insect events contribute to the evolution of complex communities. Otherwise, and these colonies are going to be a delicious feast for predators. Of course, some insects are inferior to others, more aggressive, but most of the time, they only show it when we provoke them. The truth is painful. We know that insects come into contact with us. Food. But how much do you actually eat? And do you eat well? Let's start with an extreme example. Fig. And its close connection with certain insects. About 80 million years ago, wasps start pollinating figs. Today there are about 750 species of fig trees. Each depends on at least one unique little wasp. The relationship between graves and plants can become extremely special. Fig will guard their flowers very closely. In case of wasps, from a technical standpoint, figs are not fruits. We plant trees with meat derived from the golden tissue. It contains hundreds of internal flowers. Like a hidden garden, humans usually only pick one type of fig, common fig. Its reproductive system is called the hermaphroditism. It is found in less than 1% of flowering plants. Some common fig trees, the female part that holds the seeds, and some of them, a fig tree known as a fig tree, have both. The male part that shovels seeds and pollen. When a female fig wasp is pregnant with eggs, follow the scent trail. Came to an ordinary fig tree, and immerse yourself in. Small at the base of a developing fig tree. Xiao Fan will participate in the whole. Start there. Depending on whether it's a fig tree or a female fig tree, things can go both ways. The result is more wasps, or more fig trees. If it's a fig tree, The wasps lay their eggs in the ovaries of the flower, then die. These ovaries do not develop into seeds. It became an addiction. Nourish the developing offspring of wasps. Powerful and busy. They hatch first. Open the remaining history of addiction. The developing secondary wind is startled. Yes, usually their sisters are frightened. Unless there are other wasps laying eggs here. The drones then dig themselves up. Never used exit. Because they are leaving without flowers. The fruit tree died before. The last startled female hatches. From the power of the drone digging. Pollen on the way. Then fly to other fig trees. However, if a wasp enters a female fig tree, it can't lay eggs. Because the structure of flowers is different. Therefore, it will die without seeds. But he does pollinate the flowers of the fig tree, so trees can multiply. This wind. I don't know what kind of fig tree they entered. I didn't know he would give birth to offspring for him, or use him to reproduce himself. Because of the smell of the fig tree, it's the same regardless of gender. This ensures that a considerable part of ordinary figs can also reproduce. They don't just reproduce like wasps. That's how it directs human intervention. Archaeological records show that people of the Jordan Valley, figs were first cultivated about 11,400 years ago. This could make them become the first domesticated crops. When a genetic mutation appears, make the fruit of the fig tree. No pollination is required. They started propagation in cuttings. All of a sudden, common figs are no longer at the mercy of wasps. He has a significant other to reproduce. This crop is widely distributed. Now, we harvest over 1.30 million tons of figs every year. So how many wasps did we eat? Store-bought fresh figs. Usually the common fig variety. They mature without pollination. So, they don't contain wasps. However, many figs sold in fruit form still need to be awarded powder, but we don't usually eat figs because both the female and the male offspring will die inside. On the contrary, we're eating dried figs from the females. It may contain attempts to lay eggs, but the failed sub-bee. However, figs naturally, the release water and enzymes. It is also possible to decompose the body of the sub-bee, but in general, bugs are often harvested with our produce or attracted by food processing facilities. Eating them is inevitable. U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In fact, it is not allowed. Add a certain amount of bug fragments to food. For example, no more than 30 insects per 100 grams of peanut butter fragment, or 10 grams of hops containing more than 2,500 aphids. Some estimates suggest that Americans eat about a kilogram of insects every year. It won't be a problem. Maybe even a little extra nutrition. After all, insects are more than 2 billion part of the traditional diet, and it's relatively sustainable. So maybe think about it.